Yeah, well,
Yeah,
that's why I was saying, like, I think it's, I think in a way it's nice to see that they're trying to step in and like it would be good to see some positive encouragement because there are kids being sent with like incredibly terrible crappy food, like their lunch might be candy, right? So this
Hmm.
little bit of knowledge is going to help them, start to transition into hopefully a better way of eating. Um, at the same time, replace Doritos or Ritz. It's all the same, right? When you really start to look at it, we all know
Yeah.
that it's still crap. So it's like if they've got the opportunity to try to encourage people or educate people, I think like what Eric is saying, the energy is being kind of wasted. They're going through the motions of trying to educate, but the information that they're providing is so incomplete and a
Hmm.
little misguided.
I wish that they would. You remember those commercials that were like, "This is your brain on drugs," and it was sort of like
Hmm.
the egg that would crack and go fly out.
Yeah,
Those cigarette commercials where they show like a tarred lung and
yeah,
they try to like scare you. I wish they would be like, "This is your intestines on nasty food. Look at this." I wish that they could
Hmm.
show those kind of things and the
Yeah, but
damage that it's
there's
doing.
no money to be made. There's no money to be made. There's no,
Right.
Exactly.
it's
The other.
never going to come from the government. It's never going to. It's never going to.
Right.
And it's up to the
Oh no.
parents. And the thing is when they're trying to get involved, that's just pushing us more in the opposite direction.
Hmm.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
parents. We have to educate ourselves, and we have to supply those foods for our children. And it's not. I believe 100% that it's not the government's place to get involved in our
Hmm.
children's nutrition. If anything, they're sending the complete opposite, wrong message.
Particularly when you have these state agents that are dealing directly with the kids. I mean, it's like these are like kindergarten, first grade kids, and you have a situation where like an agent comes along and says, "No, your lunch isn't good enough, and we're going to throw your lunch away." It's like, no way in hell
yeah.
should you be dealing
That's
directly
like
with
yeah,
kids.
that's like some
That's
Orwellian.
ridiculous. Like, how scary is that for a kid to deal with that? Not to mention the fact that this government agent, this stranger, but this person that's in authority, this person that's in power, undermining the parents, with what they're feeding the kids. It's ridiculous.
You're right, Joe.
And these kids are going home and they're saying, well, this person obviously is some sort of an expert. He's a government or state agent saying that the food that mommy and daddy are feeding me it's not healthy. It's like, man, what is that doing to a kid's psyche and the relationship, that kid's relationship with food
I
and
agree,
relationship with his
actually,
parents?
way too young to be like throwing in these, unhealthy, ludicrous, guidelines and rules and penalties, and it's a weird thing to do to such a young and fragile mind.
Yeah.
And it sends them mixed signals as well, because what they're trying to learn at home versus what they're being taught at school, it's sending them all these mixed signals.